So today I have a video that was suggested to me by a subscriber. I don't remember your name off the top of my head, but I will find your comment and put it in the video right here. So thank you so much for recommending this. I think it's something that I honestly had not even heard of. But basically what we're going to be talking about today is a Cadillac that's a rebadged Saab. So on this channel I've discussed before other cars that are rebadged to be Saab, such as the rebadged Subaru WRX, which is of course known as the 92X in the Saab lineup, or the Chevy Trailblazer, which is of course known as the 97X, and everything else that was on that Trailblazer platform. But today I want to talk about a car that was based off of the Saab 9.3 and given a Cadillac badge. It was called the Cadillac BLS. Now, of course, the Saab 9.3 is not the only car that this was based off of. It shared a platform with a few other GM products on the Epsilon platform. So you've got the Chevy Malibu, let me just read off a couple here, a bunch of Opel products, a Saturn, you know, like other cars that are based on the same chassis. But this one particularly interested me, one, because it was sold only in Europe, so this was not offered in America, but two, because you'll see pictures of the interior, and the interior is very, very similar to a Saab 9.3 interior. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. So first off, I just want to say that the Cadillac BLS was a complete failure. It was only produced for, I think, 3 or 4 years, maybe like 2006 to 2009, 2005 to 2009, somewhere like that, and it was actually produced in Sweden. So it was produced on the same assembly line as the 9.3 and the 9.5, which is pretty neat. And I am reading here that the BLS was actually also introduced in the Arabian, Mexican, South African, and South Korean markets for the 2007 model year. So it was not just the Europe-only car, but most of the sales were in Europe. So it had 3 different engine options, similar to the 9.3. It had the 1.9 liter turbocharged diesel, which I'm not too up to date on the 9.3 engines that were offered in Europe because we did not get the diesel engines here in America. But if that was in the European 9.3, which I'm pretty sure it was, because I know there was a diesel 9.3, that was in the BLS. And then you also had the 2 variants of the 2 liter turbo, and of course you had the 2.8 V6 turbo. So the same exact engines that were in the Saab 9.3 are also in this BLS, and of course those engines were also used in other cars on this platform. Now, as you can see from the pictures, this was drastically restyled from the 9.3. On the outside, it does not look anything like the 9.3. It's not like the Subaru Impreza and Saab 9.2X where it's just a couple minor tweaks on the outside and it's pretty much the same car. This is a completely reworked car on the outside. So it was supposed to bridge a gap in Cadillac's model range. That's what they said. Many people call the BLS the Bob Lutz Special, and he was very involved with GM development at that time, so he was kind of using the Saab 9.3 to fill the holes in the Cadillac product range, and clearly it did not work. So yeah, if you look at the interior photos now, you can see that everything is very, very similar. Now, of course, you do not have the center mounted key down by the gear selector. Of course, it's in the normal lame spot, not the cool Saab spot. But you can see it has the same steering wheel button, same gear selector. The only thing that's really different is they do have a nice little watch in the middle, which I like, and then the air vents look different. The gauges are all pretty much the exact same thing. I mean, for those of you that own a new generation 9.3, you know that you're looking at essentially the same thing as your interior here. Now, the BLS was also offered in a station wagon or an estate, I think is what they called it, not a sport combi. That's a pretty lame name. I think sport combi is much better. But they did also offer it in an estate, and like I said, these never really sold well, so seeing one of these on the road in Europe or wherever else they were sold, I'm sure is pretty rare and uncommon. So that's about all I have for the BLS. Again, it's a pretty rare car, not really marketed well or really sold much, like I said, so there's not a whole lot of information out there on it. I thought it would be a cool video because it's so similar to the Saab 9.3, and we haven't really seen anything that's similar to the Saab 9.3 that they kind of took from Saab and used in another car, if that makes sense. So with that being said, I do want to give a big shout out to the subscriber again who sent me the idea for this video. If you guys do have more video ideas for what you'd like to see me do, go ahead, drop them down below in the comments. I'm always open to suggestions. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.